Anyone get up to anything last night then? Anybody? Yeah. Ah, the moment has finally arrived after what, about 12 years of doing podcasts, probably close to 20 years, if not more, of doing Tottenham related stuff online. Well, to be fair, I got to talk about the League Cup before. When I did when I was about 15, 16, I ran a little website. I ran a little website called North London Pride. I don't know if anybody ever remembers that, but that was one of my first forays into doing all this. Then I started doing all my animations in around 2008 or so, and then podcasts from I don't know when. But to be able to sit here this morning and say that Tottenham Hotspur have won a major, and it is a major competition, a major European competition, in front of the eyes of the world, in front of the eyes of Europe at least, beating Manchester United and whatever incarnation of Manchester United it is. Because let's remember all of the energy before this one. This is Manchester United. It doesn't matter how bad their domestic season has been. They get the job done. They turn up in cup finals. They didn't turn up last night. And Tottenham Hotspur have won the Europa League. Son Heung-min, the man who stayed, the man who signed a contract extension in one of our, lowest points of the past few years. Vindicated. He's lifted the Europa League as the club captain. It's a lot to process. It's a lot to take in. That second half was horrendous in the respect of like the nerves. It was hideous to watch that, especially the last 10 minutes or so. And Garnacho came on, relentlessly going for us. Awful. 7 minutes of injury time. The room I was in, the mates I was watching it with, nobody talking, everybody staring at the TV. I was on all fours, just making guttural sounds. And just that relief when the final whistle went, Vicarious save, final whistle goes, and it's bliss, isn't it? It's bliss. There's nothing in my head about what anyone else thinks, what's going on at the club, all the crap I've gone on about this year and previous years, what everybody else has, what we've all been talking about, all the noise. It doesn't matter. This is what it is. This is the purest emotion of this sport. And as Pochettino said, in his teary semi-final post-match mix zone interview, without football, these type of emotions, they're not possible. And it is just that, there is a certain sense of validation. When it hit me most, the club, either last night or this morning, I can't remember. It's all sort of a bit of a blur at the moment. But when the club, they posted that, like an animation, a motion graphic of the third Europa League trophy animating into our trophy cabinet, and them saying just, another one for the cabinet. And you see it there. You see it amongst all the FA Cups, the Charity Shields, the League Cups, the other Europa League trophies. The titles, yes, not Premier League, but still first division titles. And it's just that reminder. It's that reminder to us on an individual level, to the club, to everybody, that all this stuff about our DNA, commentators or whatever on national television saying with their chest out, Spurs don't win things. We do, and we always have. And this is, Ange Postecoglou saying in the post-match that the club has won a lot. It is it's a proud club with a proud history, but that history has been getting further and further, and it's just needed that jolt. It's needed that reminder of what it is to arrive at this level, to arrive at this stage. And it's bang on. It's bang on. And look, whether we kick on from this, whether we go on and use this as in this moment, I don't care. I couldn't care less. The scenes in Bilbao, it's exactly all the sort of fanfic I've been going on about for the past few years. Scarves wrapped around people's head, a sea of colours. Spurs take it. It felt like we had the whole stadium last night, So many Tottenham there in full voice for the whole game. You can't tell me. I know everyone will say, "Oh, no club does," but we do. This club deserves this, man. This fan base deserves this. We do. I'd like entitled, whatever. I really don't care, because as I continue to say, I don't think I don't think there are many clubs that occupy this laser focused kind of surgical evisceration of every single thing we do, quite like there is with Tottenham. There isn't another fan base that has to turn on the darts or turn on any other sport and hear fans of any other two-bob tin pot club up and down the country singing that their club gets battered everywhere they go. I don't think there's many other fan bases that have to go onto any social media platform and you got all the banter accounts and all the blue ticks always making a joke out of their club. I don't think there's many clubs that get that all the time. And they can say whatever they want about the lack of drop downs from the Champions League. They can say whatever they want about the league form. Because this isn't in isolation. This isn't in isolation. This is validation, and this is vindication for years of nearlies, for years and years, nearly 2 decades of us being derided, being pulled down, being mocked constantly. And we've done it. And there's nothing they can say. And you know what? Maybe it's because I surround myself with decent people, but a couple of the Gooners, at least, that I do know, have given me the fair play, mate. Fair play. I'm not happy for you, but can't argue with that, And they would be. They'd be buzzing if they did it. But I don't. You know what? At this point in time, and this is the thing about this sweet release of it. I don't even care. I don't care what this means for us. I don't care that it means that we can say we've won 3 UEFA Cups, Europa Leagues, and they've won 0. All that stuff. At this point in time, I don't care. This is, as I say, this is sweet release. This is Tottenham Hotspur on the big stage, lifting one of the biggest, most massive, shiny trophies in existence. And it's a glorious trophy, the UEFA Cup, the Europa League. It's beautiful. To me, it's one of the more aesthetically pleasing, beautiful trophies. It's massive. And just seeing Sonny doing it is something that will live forever in the memory. Forever. We'll see that footage of Sonny as we've seen it. As we've seen it with legends gone by, lifting various trophies down the year. Now we've got that. We've got that. We've got that video. We've got those photos. We've got Sonny lifting the trophy. We've got the photo of Mickey van der Ven's clearance off the line. And we've just got it. We've got the memory of it. And I appreciate that this is going to be a particularly bittersweet time for a lot of people, for a lot of people I know. And it is worth acknowledging that. It's not to put a dampener on everything, but it's worth acknowledging that this is going to be a joyous, but also a very conflicting time for a lot of people. Um, Primarily, those, and you see many of you see many people sort of sharing sentiments to this effect on social media, and there's people in my life who I know who have lost people who they'd otherwise be watching this game with or celebrating with, and that's horrific. And in and amongst all the jubilation, I don't forget that. I don't forget anything with this level of like powerful emotional heft, how it can be conflicting, how it can be difficult. It's a difficult thing. We're all treading a path. Life is hard. Life is long. Fingers crossed. Anyway, for myself, but you know what I mean. Like life can be hard, and we're all everybody's got something weighing them down at various different points, right? But it's things like this. It's these moments where it's hard not to get gushy, and it's hard not to fall into these kind of mawkish sentiments. But it is stuff like football. It is this pure emotion that just allows you that sense of relief from it. And yet, after the fact, it may catch up with you and it may give you pause for greater reflection on various different things. But in that moment, we get swept up in that. We get swept up in that kind of that universal consciousness of what it is to be a fan, the sea of lily white and all that. We know it. We know the rush of a goal in the stadium when you end up hugging a complete stranger next to you and celebrating as if it was somebody in your own family, who then moments after you'll just kind of give each other a nod and carry on watching the game and not say a word to each other. But that's what it is, because you all know in that moment you've shared it. You've shared that feeling. We share our lows, and that's when I sit here and I rabbit on here, and people will tell me it helps them. It helps me as well to sit here and do this type of therapy. But in the same time, we share those highs, and it's just it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I mean, yeah, you know, it's been a tough year personally. It's been a tough year, and it's just nice to have. It's just nice. It's this is just, you know, it doesn't make the bad stuff go away, does it? But it I don't know. I don't know what it does. It like it occupies a different place of your spirit, of your consciousness, whatever way you want to quantify it. Just a little bubble somewhere that nobody can take away from you. They can't take it away from you. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're saying. It doesn't matter how much anybody else tries to pull it down. You had that moment. You've had this run to this final. You had that 90 minutes. And if you've backed Ange Postecoglou all the way, well done to you. Huge validation. If you've wavered, if you've wanted him out, you still deserve this. You're a Spurs fan. It's not all about Ange Postecoglou. It's about the club. It's about the fans. It's about people who have given their lives to this ridiculous, intangible chaos that we let consume us. We give ourselves completely to it. We open ourselves up for so much hurt. And when you get these moments, when you get these things, just drink it in. Just drink it in. Bask in it. Absolutely bask in it, this is what I was saying to, I'm very good friends with Hainsey, Ben, who works at the club, does lots of the club's social media, digital stuff, and presents for the club. Doesn't just do that, presents for the club. They're on the screens at half time and all this type of stuff. I'm not just trying to sell the fella short. And he, it's 10 years or so ago, me and him were working for a production company, doing this like this documentary on grassroots football. He was presenting it. We were down in this place called Heybridge, like Essex way, Heybridge Swifts, in the first round of the FA Cup. We were going there, talking about what football meant to that community, what it meant to those people and all this. And now fast forward 10 years, he's there walking around Bilbao with Tottenham Hotspur. There's a photo on his Instagram of him holding the Europa League trophy after last night and everything. I just sent him a message, just drink it in, mate. You've earned it. You've absolutely worked your knackers off to get there. Just drink it in. And that's what I just say to any Spurs fan. Just drink it in. Just let any of the noise, any of it, go over you, because this is what we do it for, man. It's not about it's we only have this moment, That's it. We only have this moment. There's no yesterday, there's no tomorrow. All we have is now. And this is it. Just cling on to it, just hold on to it, because we don't know what life can bring. Oh, man, it's mad. I actually can't. I cannot believe. I still cannot believe I'm talking about this right now. Seeing the scenes last night, seeing Manchester United walk up and get their silver medals, and then seeing it be Spurs. That moment when all the kind of the runners up go through, they've all got their bowed heads and they walk through, and then it starts to build. Then everybody starts getting excited, and the winners all start coming through. They got their flags of their various nationalities all wrapped around them, Spurs scarves around their heads, all of it. And seeing it there, the moment it gets handed to Sonny, the trophy, and he's lifting it, I like my brain. I couldn't accept it. When I was watching, not accept it. I couldn't fully process it. Seeing all the graphics on screen, even down to that level. UEL winners, Tottenham Hotspur, 24-25. It's just mad. And you can't get through a pod like this or any discussion like this without talking about Ange Postecoglou, who, as I think it was an Arsenal fan that tweeted something like, "Do you realize it was it was after the game?" So they were saying it is in a positive way, if you like. But they had one of the graphics that had been produced of Ange saying, "I always win something in my second season." And they quote tweeted it by saying, "Do you realize how much of a lunatic you have to be to say this as a Tottenham manager?" And it's true. And fair play to the geezer. Absolutely fair play to him. I'll take my medicine. Vince Rigari sent for me pretty much on the full-time whistle. Retweeted one of my my diggings out of Ange. Fine, I'll take my medicine. It's just one of those things. It's like I am, if that's the cross I have to bear, seeing Tottenham win a Europa League to make me look a bit silly. I think I'll take that. I think I'll take that. But sport is an emotional, fickle game. It is, and fair play to the geezer. Fair play to Ange. Um, he delivered on what he said. He's managed to deliver genuinely the coldest, one of the coldest lines in sports history. Like it's actually mad. It's actually mad when you think about it. You know, in that really really dire point in this season as well, to stand there chest out and say, "No, let me correct you. I always win something in my second season." Then to go and do that is bonkers. And don't get me wrong, it would have been beautiful. It would have been wonderful were it a League Cup, but you get what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be a knob about this, but you get what I'm saying when I say it's not just a League Cup either. This is Europa League. This is basically the third biggest trophy available to anybody. Domestic League, Champions League, and then Europa League. It's just mad. It's man, and you know what? It's been a good season. Look, whatever, and I can say this now. I can say this without the sort of the conflicted, bitter feelings that I had when on one part of me, I look at Newcastle, I look at Palace, and I think, well done, but also do one. Why can't it be us? But now we've done it. To look back on this season and say, you know what? Newcastle beating Liverpool in a final, Palace beating Manchester City in a final, Tottenham beating Manchester United in a final. That's good, isn't it? That's good for football. As people say, that's good for football. But it is. I don't know. I don't like there was the thing going around, wasn't there, about that our trophy parade was going to be on Friday, but I think that got debunked as a fake. I'm very interested to know when they do decide to do this trophy parade, obviously, because I expect to see each and every one of you down. And do you know what? If you live in another country, do you know what I mean? You live in the States, you live in Australia. Come on, mate. Not an excuse. Get on a plane, get down to Tottenham, get down to the high road, because we might never see this again. And this is it. This is the point I'm making. And it's not to be pessimistic. That's not to be negative. It's just the reality of the situation. We may go on from here. We may go on from here, right? And win the Premier League next season. Who knows? May go on from here and win the Champions League next season. FA Cup, anything. Incredible. And I'm not saying we won't do that. But equally, it might be another 17 years before we win something again. Drink it up. Soak it up. Savor every second of it. It's just wonderful. It's wonderful. I think I'm going to do like 3-4 podcasts today. I'm going to speak to various different people. Hopefully, I know everybody is going to be quite busy, but there's various different things to talk about. And yeah, at the moment it's been, I was sort of half tempted to do one of these last night, but then I thought, and as Charlotte said, everyone's just celebrating tonight. Everybody just wants to be lost in their own thoughts a bit for this, aren't they? And I agree. So it's good because even to this point, I've not been able to like fully kind of get a grasp on how I'm feeling and what this all means and anything like that. But all I can say is that was a resolute performance from Tottenham Hotspur Football Club last night. Talking about the game itself, resolute. Certain people like, TalkSport this morning going on about what a boring game it was. Don't care, lads. Don't care. Weren't boring for me. And, I'm just not. I don't care. I don't care. Don't care. I've watched so many boring cup finals before. I've watched so many boring cup finals down the years throughout my life. I do not care. Guillermo Vicario, I mean, what a save. Right at the very end. I think it was Luke Shaw. I think it was a Luke Shaw header right at the very end. And yeah, what a save. Pulled off a couple of really good saves, I thought, at points. Fair play. Destiny Doggy, mixed bag for him last night. I think they targeted him. He had a bit of a horrible time with Ahmad, I thought, at points. But equally, he was resolute, he was strong. Wasn't a vintage game for him, but still, it's a clean sheet. So he was doing something right, wasn't he? Mickey van de Ven. Mickey van de Ven. That's it. Tottenham folklore. Like he's the legend forever. That clearance off the line, that will be on t-shirts, that will be people's profile pictures forever. For as long as this stuff exists, Mickey van de Ven's clearance off the line is just a Tottenham moment. And what a performance from him. A hero. When him and Romero are together, there's, the stats speak for themselves. 70% plus games, I think we win those two together. Or something like that. I don't know. Undefeated in that percentage of games, I think is the correct one. Amazing. Christian Romero, 5 finals, 5 trophies. Vamonos, Jefe. If that's the way you bow out, if that's how you bow out as a Tottenham player, it will certainly be a shame, really. But also, what a way to go if he does go this summer. What a way to say goodbye. And I think Big Kev has been he's a good signing, and given some time and what have you, it could be up to speed. But let's not talk about that today. We don't need to talk about Christian Romero and his future or anything like that, because simply for last night, for this Europa League run, whenever he's been available, he's been unbelievable. Yeah. Amazing. Pedro Porro. Funny, isn't it? Funny how after he got a bit of rest, after he managed to sort of recover fully from his injury, we suddenly are now all like, right, yeah, Pedro Porro is actually class. And he is class. And he's been magnificent in this Europa League campaign. Wonderful. Great performance last night. Doesn't stop running. Bassuma and Bentaleb, especially Yves Bassuma last night. What a titan. Like, what a titan. And their partnership has come to the fore at the right time. Whatever noise has been around the two of them and all this type of thing, which I've spoken about at length over the course of the year, in a purely footballing sense, stick to the football, mate. In a purely footballing sense, the two of them have suddenly, I like to think the two of them have gotten to the business end of this competition and suddenly like given each other a look and nod and just realized, yeah, we are two of the senior members of this team. We occupy such an important place in this team. And more importantly, we're both really talented players. Now's the time to show that. And they have done. They absolutely have done. Yves Bassuma, especially last night, I thought was, I mean, Christian Romero got man of the match. Brutally honest, I think Yves Bassuma was man of the match last night. Personally speaking, just in my opinion, I think Yves Bassuma was man of the match. But look, I'm not I'm not going to split hairs over that. Yeah, the two of them were unbelievable. Papa Matasar as well. Anybody who's watched this for an amount of time will know how much of a torch I hold for Pape Matar because I think he's an unbelievable talent. I think he's a wonderful young player, and he's struggled this year. He has done, and I'm not going to deny that, and I've said that quite openly. But I think still there's a wonderful player there, and I think people forget how young he is. He is still a young player. He's still learning. He still occupies a really important, position on the team. And I think while he was on the pitch, I mean, look, it was his ball into the box that ultimately led to the goal, but he was everywhere. He was everywhere last night. While he was on the pitch, he was doing exactly what he does best. Just sweeping everything up, getting the ball moving, progressing the ball, dropping back, breaking up opposition attacks, progressing the ball in our favour, getting it forwards, always making himself available. Always making himself available for somebody else to pass to. And this was one of my greatest frustrations ever with Højbjerg. And I don't want to take this into a negative place, but I'm just saying, just to qualify the difference, because Højbjerg could do a lot of things very well. He could do. And I openly used to say it, but the thing that used to drive me insane about him is he used to hide. He was always on his terms. And I never felt like he was always there to back up his teammates, to be an option for them. Sarr is always doing that. Whenever Sarr's on the pitch, when he's at his very best, he's everywhere. Whenever you see somebody on the ball, you will always see Pap Sarr there somewhere, waiting and ready and willing to receive the ball. And when you see an opposition attack get broken up, it's usually always Sarr nipping in and nicking the ball off of them. Generally always him. He's a wonderful player, wonderful performance last night. You can see how delighted he was as well, and fair play, lad. Just, yeah, another one. I love him. Richarlison, he, like Pap Sarr, absolutely worked his knackers off last night. Didn't stop running, didn't stop pressing in their third, didn't stop making himself available to receive the ball. There's a bit of wayward passing from him, a few unforced errors here and there, but he was trying to make stuff happen, you know? And I've liked in this Europa League campaign, I've liked him coming back into the team and actually playing on the left. I think he's done really well out there on the left. And as much as I've dug him out in the past, I've really enjoyed the moments of seeing him playing out on the left. I think he's done really well, and I think he did well last night. They hit a point when he got that yellow card, and he's an emotional guy. And I was just like, it's in that sort of Lineker, Gascoigne way, Italia 90, that just keep an eye on him, because I think it's starting to turn a little bit. And thankfully, Ange got ahead of that, got him off the pitch as well, because he is an emotional guy and he puts so much into it. And I think there was one just after the yellow card, there was a moment in the box where he kind of went in a bit sulkily, a bit lazily, legs swinging about in the box, which he got the ball, but I was like, on another occasion, that's a penalty to United. And it's just like, it was moments like that where it's just like, just get him off now. Get him off. He's done a magnificent job. He's done wonderfully. And, it's fine. But he's done his part. He's come on and he's done his part. He's not just been, a bystander in all this. He's tangibly made a difference to this campaign, and he can soak that up and he can drink that in as much as anybody else. Because it's funny, isn't it? It's funny when you sign somebody like Richarlison, when you sign Brazil's number 9, you're expecting the flair and you're expecting kind of masses of end product in a goal sense, really. But what we have got from him, and whether this is an evolution of him as a player, whether this is just him trying his hardest to be of value to this team, is a real dogged hard worker. Somebody who's there in the mud and will slog when required, can hold the ball up disgustingly up the top of the pitch, can make himself available, can press. And you can't take that. You can't take that for granted. You can't take that for granted. Um, Lovely. Lovely. Music. Um, Life. Brennan Johnson, never, never, ever, ever should we say a bad word about Brennan Johnson again. And that's just it. Brennan Johnson. Back post Brennan. Back post Brennan does it. It's not an own goal, apparently. It's Brennan Johnson's goal. So, look, he made it happen. It's one of those goals that where even if it is technically an own goal, if somebody wants to go down that route, he made it happen. And props to his post-match interview as well, when he was talking about where we go and blah 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 blah. So it shows it shows you that they are listening to stuff. It does play on their minds, and yeah, just well done, Brennan. Dom Solanke, I mean, selfless, wasn't he, last night? Absolutely selfless. Didn't stop running for the team. Didn't stop working. I mean, yeah, it's people could say, "Oh, he didn't score enough." And there was one moment when I think Sonny ball to him and his touch was a bit off and all that type of thing. Look, if we're being hypercritical, yes, I would like to see him maybe, and maybe that's just it's that difference, it's that level, isn't it, that stops Solanke from being a really really good player to an unbelievable player to being that level above. But it's not to say he can't ever reach those heights. And even if he doesn't, he's still a really good player. And as I was saying with Richarlison, what he does not stop doing is working for the team. He's selfless, pulling defence all over the shop all the time, pressing them in their own half, doesn't stop running, doesn't stop dropping back to receive the ball on the halfway line and make those surging runs to make ground for Tottenham in the opposition half. He did that so many times last night. Really, really good play. Really good play of his back to goal. Again, we can reduce this all down to how many goals has he scored, but not bothered. Not bothered at all for a second. Answer came on, great performance. Nearly got on the end of that opportunity. Make it 2-0. It's just a whisker away. All those ultra slow-mos. Lovely to see Gray come on. Lovely to see Spence come on. Both get their little kind of run out in the final. Came on, to be fair, I say their little run out in the final. They came on at a crucial time, those two. Want to say about the 80th minute or so. So they still had a good 17, let's say 15 so minutes to play in a really crucial end of the game, right? And we shut United out. And that was that. So fair play to them. But Son Heung-min, whatever we want to say, about his performances this season, his performance last night, or whatever. Was he fit? Wasn't he fit? I'm just trying to find the reason why I was getting distracted is because I'm trying to find the tweet. Where is it? Where is the tweet? So Andy Perry on Twitter. Andy, who is I said a few weeks ago, the Spurs fan I just randomly bumped into at one point, and he put it perfectly when he tweeted, "At one of our lowest points, Kane tried to leave and move to City. We had Nuno as our manager, and Son signed a 5-year deal. He deserves this more than anybody." This isn't just based on this season. This isn't, as I say, this isn't Tottenham finishing 17th, doing this and that. Do they deserve this? Do they deserve Champions League next year? This isn't Son or, he hasn't done as well this year or this or that. This doesn't exist within isolation in this moment. Sonny is one of this club's highest ever goal scorers. Sonny has given his all for this club. Time and time again. There's game after game after game down the years when Sonny has run himself into the ground for this club, has always come out batting for this club, has always come out swinging, has always spoken about the fact that he wants to win something for us, that he wants to win something for this club. He's not a Tottenham legend until he wins something. And he said it himself. Now he is. I mean, he was anyway, but now he definitely is. He goes down in the pantheon of greatest ever players to play for this club, and I genuinely mean it. If we're building statues outside the ground, get it built. Get the one of him with that trophy built. Do it. Get the Bill Nick one in there. Yeah, 100%. But get the Sonny one there as well, because he's the biggest legend of my lifetime. He is. The captain that has scored that many goals for us, that has now gone on and lifted the Europa League trophy, has always come out swinging for the club, has never wavered. It's never wavered. You've never once heard a dodgy interview here and there where he said, maybe I need to consider my future. Maybe I need to, making, as Raj always used to say on here, kissy faces at other clubs or whatever. Never a shred of that from Son Heung-min. This is his club. It's his moment as much as it is all of ours, but in some senses, it's his. And, there's a lot of talk about what will Harry Kane be feeling, but doesn't matter right now. Harry gave us some wonderful years, some wonderful memories, some brilliant moments in his career. And I'm happy for him that he's won something this year, finally. But this is about Sonny. This is about Tottenham. This is about Spurs. We did it. We did it. And nobody can take it away from us. Yeah. Let me just see a few comments right at the very end. John Benfield has said, "Get in. What a feeling." Mothheart says, "With you live for this one, Jack." Hello. Simon Rush, hello, mate. Morning, Jack. What an unreal feeling. Deeply satisfying and joyous. Amazing to see Sonny lift that trophy. So happy for him and for players like Scarlett, Ajayi, and Moore, without whom this couldn't have happened. Yes, mate. Well done. Good shout out as well there. Missed by me. El Dante says, "What a night last night. But we have to make this a start and go on and win a lot more moving forwards. I mean, the start of a good period of success, continued success, kicking on from here. It's about winning mentality and enjoying nights like this regularly to be the team that we can be." Yeah, fine. Yeah. Tom Foynes, what a result. Historic. Perhaps the most surprising thing was the complete lack of drama. And ironically, We won by taking the best bits of Mourinho and Conte. Rich, totally worth it. One of the best nights of my life. Matey B, absolutely buzzing. All the pain of this season washed away. Just pure euphoria. Up the Spurs. James Forster, we did it for Ange. We did it for Sonny. And most importantly, we did it for all the fans that have been there through thick and thin, the near misses, the disappointments, and the ridicule. Yes, Tottenham, still buzzing. Love that, James. Alan Leslie, hello, mate. Morning, everyone. What a time to be alive and sticking it right up to Carragher. Planning the trip down for the parade. Come on, you Spurs. Yes, Alan, mate. Hopefully, I'll see you down there, lad. Ollie Whitefoot says we'll take a good week to process everything, I reckon. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. John Vidovic, I'm going to be buzzing for months, years, mate, years. Chris Jones just bought a double sausage and egg McMuffin. Hashtag coy. Yes. Stephen King, two scenarios. Number one, Man United win and football and summer dead. Number two, Spurs win and some of the best ever. Consuming all Spurs content. Permanent semi. Love you, Jack. COYS. Love you too, Stephen, lads. Wonderful. Rich also says it feels like we've stepped into an alternate reality, isn't it? Matt, Ange's KPIs were to win a trophy and to make the Champions League. Unorthodox, but he's done it. COYS. Yes. Phil Walker, train Wi-Fi is too patchy to watch this, so I'll listen later. But come on, you Spurs. That limbs moment was the missing piece of the puzzle from all of my personal milestones in 17 years. Get in there, lad. And it was as well. I mean, you see plenty of times, and I get it. Like, they've won lots and all this type of thing. But you see other clubs, a City or a United or a Chelsea or whatever, scoring goals in certain big games to anybody else. And to them, they're not really going potty about it. The limbs last night, not only for our goal, but also at full time, seeing them posted all over social media, all the wonderful. Sam Grieve, good morning, champions. Yes, lads. Mega Manger Danger says, glorious morning. I wanted Ange gone like a lot of other people, but the vibes are too good right now. Give him a 5-year deal. Aussie Ange, here we go. Go on, lads. Give it to me. What are you going to say? Morning, everyone. I told you all about Ange. He always delivers the goods in his second season. Now we can move on to beat PSG or Inter Milan to win another cup. And just taking Spurs to the top. I keep forgetting about that as well. We've got the Super Cup coming up. Like, that's mad. It's mad. Tottenham are going to be playing in the Super Cup. And I back us to we'd give anyone a game on our day. Give anyone a game on our day, but I'll back us to take it to Inter or to PSG. We'll see. James Freeman says, "Is there anything more Spursy in, like, inverted commas, than winning the Europa League and getting Champions League football while finishing 17th?" Crying eyes emojis. Love it. Darren says the parade is tomorrow. By the way, I know what you're saying, Darren, because I know there was that, like, leaflet thing that was going around, but I think some people have said that's fake. So I'm going to wait, and unless something's been communicated while I've been doing this, we'll see. Sprint on Water says, I've backed Ange since day one. It's been rough at times this season. I'm an Australian, so I have some bias, but I believe this group with some experienced quality additions can do great things with Ange. Let's hope so, mate. I'd say I don't need to do all this. Like I said it a few weeks ago as well, and just watching that last night and always, I just don't think you can sack him now. I don't think I totally get arguments for, I totally get arguments against, but football isn't played by robots. You know, it's not played by robots. You can't see the outpouring of emotion for that guy last night from so many of those players. Look at the video of him standing on the sidelines, not wanting to be in the scrum while they lifted the trophy, and the whole squad were getting him front and center, pulling him into the middle of the conversation, um, into the middle of the huddle to lift the trophy. I don't think he can do it. I think football is, as much as I will qualify my flip flopping on Ange by saying football's an emotional game. Fans aren't immune to, like I say, the swaying emotions of these occasions of seeing Spurs lose game after game in the Premier League this season, right? At the same time, football is an intangibly emotional game in the sense that I just I just think it's whiffy vibes, basically, to sack the guy that has just won something of that magnitude after the type of drought we've had. I just don't think you can do it. I don't think you can do it. Look, if it's getting towards next Christmas time and we're bottom of the Premier League again, then maybe, yeah, that's probably when you do it. As people have said, right? He'll be gone by Christmas or whatever. Fine. If that's the case, if that's what we do, we'll talk about that at the time. But right now, in this moment, I don't think this summer you can say, cheers, Ange. See you later, mate. Because he don't want to go anywhere. He was saying it. He was saying it last night. My work here is not done. I want to carry on. I want to bring more. I just don't think you can get rid of him. Stephen McCusker, yes, boys, we did it. Beach Fuzz, what a massive performance from our boys. We are Tottenham. White Heart, Blue Heart. Gaze Tronics, Mickey van der Ven with the super move. Beach Fuzz also says Son loves this club and its supporters. Yes, he does. Vincent N, well done, Spurs, from a Toon fan. Same to you, lad. Same to you. Hacker BLCPS says should get Udinese accommodation ASAP. FYI. Okay, so the club have released info. The parade is tomorrow at 5:30. Well, guess where we're all going to be at 5:30 tomorrow then. Dreamland. I can't believe I can't believe it. Genuinely cannot believe we're talking about this type of thing. But there we are. We are, and we've done it. We've done it. History. Let's just bask in it a bit longer. Like I say, I'm gonna grab various people, do different pods at different points throughout the day today. Listen to them at your leisure. Um, but yeah, it's just mad. It's mad. It's making me quite emotional. It's making me feel quite emotional. Um, well done, Spurs. You know, For as much as we dig them out, and for as much as we can deride them ourselves, and they can drive us to our wits' end, you know, I just love them. I love it. And it's moments like this that make you realize, there's been so much talk about, oh, we need this type of investment, we need that. And I know it's far from perfect. And I know there's no ethical billionaires and whatever. I don't really want to get into all that. But at the same time, just at least the fact we've done something like this still, while we are still a self sustainable, real club, if you like, we've done it. Nobody can take it away from us. It's one for everyone. It's one for everyone. Past, present, and future. Anyone who has had, has, or will have this club in their hearts is for you. It's another. It's another patch on the you know the tapestry of what it is, sewn in forever now. Our third major European trophy, Cup Winners' Cup. I don't know if we're calling that major or not. It's defunct now, so we did it. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Much love. Be back at various points today. I keep saying this, like nobody's agreed to record one with me yet. They better do. I'm sure. I'm sure some people will be on. Yeah. Come on, you Spurs. Up the Spurs. Much love to all of you. Enjoy it. Have a wonderful day.